we just need to be aware that the only thing what really makes us happy, and lots of researchers have confirmed that, is interactions between humans. This makes us happy.
Hello, and you're with Aveline Clark on the Six Star Business Podcast, where we have conversations about what it takes to be six-star as a six-star leader in a six-star business in a six-star world. And in today's episode, my co-host is Corey Sebest, and we sat down with Achim Creamer from the UK, formerly from Germany. Achim is an ex-competitive sportsman in rowing, and he's also got a wealth of experience in many corporates: Barclays Bank, British Airways, GE Money, Coca-Cola, to name a few. And throughout the decades of his experience in these companies, he's really seen a lot and has been able to infuse his own passion for spirituality and love into the environments that he's worked at. He can see what's broken about corporates, and he talks about that in this episode. He shares what will make things work, what is important to us, and how we can live better in our worlds every day, how we can make a difference. He also talks about how we can create more sustainable businesses moving forward into the future. He's got a lot of passion and heart, and he genuinely cares about people all over the world, and that there is a way that we can heal our business structures, and it starts with the heart, and it starts with each individual person. It's a beautiful conversation, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, here we are, and hello and welcome. I am your host, Aveline Clark, and I'm here with my co-host, Corey. How are you doing, Corey?
Wonderful. Thanks for having me back. A warm welcome to Achim. Happy to have you on.
Hi, Corey. Hi, Evelyn.
Hello. It's wonderful to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, it was quite a struggle because I got back home at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Ouch.
It was quite a journey.
Well, how about we get to know, for our listeners' benefit, it'd be great to just understand a little bit more about you and where you are. So you've mentioned Ryanair, and there's obviously an accent. So can you tell us where you are in the world, and perhaps something
I'm living in the UK for about 13 years. I'm from Germany. My job took me here or brought me here to the UK. I worked at that time. I worked for Santander, and I'm working for myself since 2015.
Oh, fabulous!
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So, who do you serve, and how do you serve them?
You mean who are my clients, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. My clients are companies in the way that currently there are companies in the software industry. I actually do business development on the one hand side, and then I also do company development on the other side. For one company, I do pure business development, and for the other company, I also do develop the company, coach the business owner, and help them to establish the company in that country. It's in India and also in the UK.
Ah, fabulous. That is really interesting. I find it interesting. Before we sort of jump into that, Achim, it would be great to know, what do you like doing when you're not busy doing all of those things?
I like to spend time with my family, but I also evenly like to do sports, to keep myself fit, to bicycle, to run, to jog, and go to the gym. Sport is something which is very important to me because I was a high-performing athlete when I was younger, and I've done sport for over almost 50 years. Oh no, for 50 years. I'm that old right now. Yeah, 50 years. So it has a very, very important place in my life.
What did you do as a high performing athlete when you were younger?
I was rowing.
Oh, okay.
I was rowing for the German national team as well. But this is a long time ago. I mean, nothing to, nothing important to talk about. The only thing what is important is that my attitude is very much related to that, being competitive, doing things together, being, rowing in a team, doing things together, and trying to achieve high performing stuff. That's something which has led me throughout my whole life.
Is that how you're perceived as well when you do your stuff in the IT space and the other business? Because I know that you actually have a deeper aspiration under your own brand, where you're looking for a new way of working, collaborating with companies, and a little bit of changing the way of operating, right? Can you tell a little bit about that?
I think that everybody is. First of all, I have a motto which is anything is possible. So I always, since my entire life, I've strived to do things whatever I want to do, and for me there was no limit. I think whenever you really want to do it, you can do it, you can achieve it. So anything, there's no limit. And this is very important when you have this view, because then you can really do everything. And I also believe that if people are working on things or working with things they're really passionate about, then they also can do amazing things. So this has led me to I have been in a lot of senior management positions in the past, and have worked together with people who have brought in their talents and their aspirations and their passions. And I realized that I just need to, as a leader, I just need to provide the right environment where they can live this passion and these aspirations, and then they will do amazing things. And this has led me to to my journey to go deeper into it, and trying to understand why people are the way they are. And I came to the conclusion that the world as it is now, the business world as it is now, is not good, is not very healthy for all people, and that we need to come to a change of values, and also to change of how can I say that, of another system, if you like.
As in like a way of operating.
The way we are operating is the way we are collaborating. I believe that competition is good, competition is necessary, but collaboration is evenly good and necessary. I think it must be a mixture. It must be a mixture of competition, appreciate competitors, and also working together, learning from each other, respecting the competitor. When you are in the sports arena, or when you are in the sports territory, then we tend to celebrate. We always tend to celebrate the winner of a competition. But I believe that the other ones, the other opponents, they also deserve respect and recognition, because they applied the same effort to win the game. But only one can win the game, and you can only have a winner when you also have losers. And therefore, I think the losers deserve the same respect and the same recognition, because everybody does his best or her best to perform, and this needs to be recognized. And I think we are celebrating too much the winners, and the winners should appreciate that they can only win when there are other people who don't win.
So, Achim, listening to all what you said, and like Evelyn and myself, we have been in the corporate world too for quite a while. So, what has been for you the reason to step out? Is that what you just described? Too much competition, not appreciating serving the losers as well, the
Yeah,
collaborative interaction?
actually, I didn't step out. I stepped out at Santander because I was for 2 years. I was tired and I was somehow silently fed up with everything. Silently, which says, the inner voice tells you, oh, you have to get up again and you have to go to work. And I was this kind of obedient soldier, this who always comes to work. I did it for the people I'm working with. We had a great team, but I was absolutely dissatisfied. And then I left Santander, and then I took 6 months break. I need to detoxicate myself from all the things I encountered the last 6 to 7 years. And then the kind of normal reflex was, okay, you need to find another job. And then I realized I couldn't find another job, even though I had very good interviews and with other potential employers, but the interviews were too good. They said you are too overqualified, you are too big for this role, and I never managed. And in the meantime, I got other jobs. Like people from my network asked me to help them with the integration of new businesses and stuff like that, and to turn businesses around and all these kind of things. And I realized that this is more fun and I can make much more impact in the business world when I work as an advisor, as a consultant, because they pay you on a daily basis. They listen to you because they're paying for that. Whereas as an employee, you're part of the inventory, and doesn't make a difference whether you contribute or not. You're paid anyway. And I like that, and I realized that you're either in the inside world or in the outside world. And when you're in the inside world, when you're working in the company, you are not looking out to the outside world, and you don't have the opportunity to meet interesting people, and you figure out that you develop much more and develop much quicker in the way you see things, and you start doing amazing things.
Having been through the corporate world and leaving, and feeling the joy of having that, I guess, that flexibility and that the ability to choose your own adventure as an advisor and be respected and for that, and being able to make an impact. I understand wholeheartedly how you may have felt at that point. And I'm wondering, the comment that you made earlier about the business world not being in a good state, not healthy. Could you share with us at what point did you realize this, and it maybe sort of unpack that a little bit, because I'm really fascinated to hear.
Yeah, this is an interesting question, because I was always somebody who has put. I mean, I'm married the second time, yeah, and I've got 4 kids, 3 kids with my first wife, and 1 kid, my 8 years old daughter with my second wife and last wife, I promise. That I put everything. I gave everything to companies because I was very I was very entrepreneurial thinking and mindseted person, and I thought that when you do everything for the company will give it back to you. And over the time, I realized that I'm like anybody else. I'm just a small, tiny wheel in the whole system of a company. And when they make changes and they restructure, and you don't fit in the new structure. It doesn't matter how well you perform, how much you sacrifice, and how much you put into this. You are out, and there's no loyalty at the end. I've also realized that whatever network you create in that company, it can fall apart, because when they have been dismissed, then you start over and over again. I also realized that 25% of your time is really effective time. You achieve something, and the 75% is political, is feeding other people's ego. And when you are above 50, you start realizing that the time of life comes to the end, getting shorter. Life is coming to the end, and then you realize that, and I said to myself, I don't have time for this kind of political, sorry to say that, political shit. I want to do more useful things. I want to be more effective. And I'm quite clear and quite straightforward in my approach, and say, I've made the experience myself. I've been very, very successful in how I've managed team, how I've led organizations. I know how to do it. I know how to create high-performing teams. I also know how to turn businesses around. And I'm very confident about that. And I tell people very clearly how they can achieve that. And they can only achieve that when they create an environment where people feel respected. Of course, they need to have rules, and they need to have guidance, and everybody has to stick to the rule. But the environment where you are allowed to make mistakes, the environment where you're recognized, the environment where you know what your contribution is, where you understand what the big picture is, where you understand why some decision has been made, so that they understand where they are and where to go, and that they are respected and appreciated, and that they are treated like humans, and that they are facing leaders who are behaving like humans with all their weaknesses, who are presenting themselves the way they are and not the way they think they should be. They don't have two personas and all these kind of things. And I've realized that I've asked myself, okay, why do people behave like that? Why do people think when they are leaders, they have to change their attitude, they have to change their posture and the way they treat other teams? I've realized that it's driven by fear. And then I realized that fear is something which is dominant, which is absolutely dominant in our society. And we are playing with it. I mean, the society is playing with it. Everybody is playing with it, and using this as a tool to have power on other people. And then I realized, so what is I also knew that the opposite of fear is love. When I ask people, what is the opposite of love? And they say hate. I said, no, hate is coming out of fear. And the opposite is really of love is fear. And then I realized that love and fear don't exist together at the same time. They only exist in the absence of the other. So you can do things either out of fear or you do things out of love. And when I'm talking about love, I don't talk about love between men and women. I talk about love in general terms, in accepting, in the feeling of being connected with everything and everybody. And when you are in fear, you are defensive. Your focus is on defending whatever comes up, whatever you think comes up. This is the crazy thing, because fear is appearing in your head. I'm not talking about fear running away from a tiger or not daring to jump down from a skyscraper. That's another fear. This prevents us from doing stupid things. But I'm talking about the stories you're making up in your head, that things can happen, but to 99.9% they're not happening. So all these kind of things that you which makes you busy, where you think you have to protect yourself. And this is not very, how can I say, this is not very constructive, because it doesn't take you anywhere. It just lets you there where you are, because you are in the status quo and you want to keep your status quo. So you don't dare to make another step forward because you are very much afraid that this could cause some damage or whatsoever. And when you are in the state of love, then you open up. You are not afraid of showing the way you are, showing your genuine, your real person, the real person you are, and you are more fulfilled to give to people, to share, and you have nothing to worry about. When you love, you have nothing to worry about. It's like flying. You think that you can fly. It's a feeling when you fall in love with another person. The first 6 weeks or the first 8 weeks, you feel like you have all the energy, and you can have that feeling by expanding it to lots of other people. When you realize, actually, we are all connected. We're all connected. We're all belonging together. When you change the conviction of people, you can change the world. When you change the way people see the world, you can change everything. Then you just need to give them. You just need to give them the opportunity to have a different point of view.
Does it mean, Achim, that all your activities and the driving factor in your case is love, that you don't fear any fear?
Of course, I'm not perfect, and I still have my times where I see that fear is coming up, but it's my decision to let it coming up. I think when you talk about what is your mission, my mission is, of course, I want to change the business world, but my underlying mission is to make people aware that they are privileged. Everybody of us is privileged to have a self-determined life. A self-determined life, meaning that you are aware that everything what you do is a decision you make. Either you make or not make a decision. It's a decision. When you decide not to make a decision, then you have decided not to make a decision. It's when you think that you have to manage your life, and you take everything in your hand, your own destiny in your hand, and you make deliberate decisions, then you're sitting on the pilot seat. When you don't dare to make decisions, then you go onto the co-pilot seat and let something else run your life. And that's everybody's decision. I've seen so many people and heard so many. Every time when you speak to people, they say, "Oh gosh, tomorrow is Monday, then I have to go to work again." I said, "What? Work? I've realized that work is not a punishment. Work is something which is adding value to your life. And if you do something you don't like, why do you waste your time of doing this just because of the money?" Many people behaving like prostitutes. They're doing things they don't like. They work in an environment which is toxic. They're kind of crawling to work every day in the morning, and then when they're at work, they wait until it's 5 o'clock, and they can't wait until it's 5 o'clock. And when it's 5 o'clock, they go home and watching TV, living a life of something else, but not living their own life, not taking the life in their own hand. And this, for me, then I can continue this. Then they go to the weekend, and then they can't wait until time has passed. Time is over. And I said, why? They're losing a lot of opportunities of self-development, of growing. They are drifting. They are drifters. 95% of the world are drifters. That's my view. And I want to wake them up and want to give them the control back over their own life, making deliberate decisions, conscious decisions about themselves, being aware that this is what we perceive as being normal, that work is always hard work, it's always something negative, or something you have to do because you have to get an income. No, you can combine that if you really believe that everything what you visualize will happen. This also comes to the point of fear. Fear is in the sense is very dangerous, because when you fear, that means you prevent something, you know, when you want to prevent something to happen, what is the picture in your head? The visualization is the event you want to prevent to happen. And the universe works in that way that it sees the picture and thinks, okay, you want this? Okay, I help you to achieve that. Yeah. So it's very important that you don't think what you don't want to have, that you think what you want to get, what you want to do, what you want to achieve, and not what you want not to happen. You understand?
I do. I hope our listeners were able to keep up. I love that. Can you take me back to your, with all the corporate experience that you've had, obviously at very senior levels, would you say that the majority of the people you worked with were in that state of fear, or some in a state of love? Like, what was the play there? How are they operating?
There were some people who were absolutely in the state of love, and they were great leaders. I had one. My first boss was the best boss I ever had. I was really, really sad that I had him. I mean, on the first side, it was good that I had him in the beginning of my career, because he was giving me some really great tips, and to also kick me in the right direction. When I was young, I was very eager, very competitive, and I always believed that as a leader, I had to be better than my own people and had to compete with them, to demonstrate to them that I'm superior, and it's this kind of thing, which is frustrating to my team, but also very tiring for myself. But I had a lot of energy, enough energy, and I was, for me, the company was the most important thing, and to protect the company was the most important thing, and to protect the well-being of the company and everything. And when somebody was doing something which was not good for the company, I was, very straight. And he said one time, Achim, you can shoot on people, but you shouldn't kill them. And this made me think. He said, you have to work with them over the time. So if you kill them, then they don't want to work with you anymore. And this was the first moment where I was starting reflecting on my behavior and my management style. Also, I can tell you that there were a lot of people around me who said you had an amazing time, you were an amazing leader at that time, but still I was not good. I was not good enough, really. I mean, we did amazing things, and I loved to work with people, and I didn't love to have people working for me. I always wanted to work with them because I saw them as a team of individuals who are bringing in certain expertise, certain skills, and we are sharing this, and we are all come to together to a joint decision. I knew that finally I had to make the ultimate decision, but I rather had it as an informed decision of everybody, so everybody knows why the decision was made, and everybody was in sync with that decision. So I evolved my leadership style, and also my understanding how to create an environment where people feel, and this was the image I always have, where people feel not to miss one day of work. I always said, okay, what do you want to achieve? I said, I want to achieve an environment where people say, I don't want to miss one day to come to work.
That was always your base style, literally, because you just mentioned that you were in a phase where you were competing with your people. Yeah, I think you have been taken over by your ego for a while. Yeah,
Yeah, of
drifting a
course.
little bit away from your initial basic style. And normally people are facing some severe events in their lives which make them to get to a position where they start reflecting, and then the mindset shift and transformation happens. So that was not needed in your case? Have you been since birth always this type of person?
Since of birth, when you talk to me as a private person, I always felt like somebody who has to give love to the world. I felt like a person who's full of love. There's plenty of love to give to lots of people, and the same. This is something which has driven to me. I can give you an example in sport. I've qualified myself for the Junior World Championship in Finland, and I was kind of downgraded because I was actually entitled to be part of an active team of a rowing team, but they put me as a substitute. Yeah, which was disappointing because they thought that people who were less strong than me, they would better fit in one of the boats categories. So I was being put as a substitute, which was okay. I did the best out of it because I was then kind of working myself up on qualifying myself in being the substitute for all boats categories. Normally you have the sculls categories and the other ones, 8s and 4s, and I was sculling, and then it appeared that the coxman, the strokesman of the 4, he got sick. So I was replacing him for 1 week, and the boat was doing very well. We break one record after the other. I was the strokesman in this boat as a sculler. Strokesman. The other one is with 1 row, and scull is with 2 rows, 2 oars. And then I went to the guy who was sick, and I said, I honestly and sincerely wish that you get back on your legs and that you get healthy very soon so that you can take my seat. Can you take back my seat? And I meant that because I didn't feel qualified or didn't feel entitled to take over his seat, to take away, even though I could. But it didn't feel okay to me because I was a sculler and I have qualified myself for quadruple or for double, and I didn't feel okay to take that seat from him. So he took over. He took over. After 1 week, he got healthy again. He took over, and then they won the gold medal. And the trainer gave me the gold. He gave me his gold medal because he said, we are a team of 5.
So literally by you stepping in while he was injured, you caused the team to perform higher, and that actually put the previous man in a kind of a gap situation to keep up. While then as a team overall they performed better and won the gold medal.
Yes. And I wanted to take the stress out of him, the fear out of him, telling him, I'm not here to take away the seat from you. I wish that you get healthy again and that you can take over again because I'm just a substitute.
Activeness, and then I was asking myself, how does that fit together? Yeah. So what is the driving factor for being as efficient, as effective? Yeah. What is the ultimate goal for doing this? Because this is normally placed in the corporate world, right? It's where you prove yourself as an alpha animal and you get into competition, be the best of the best.
Yeah, but do you want to waste your energy yourself? If you have limited energies, if you have limited resources, do you want to waste them? Do you want to waste material? Do you want in a closed environment where you have limited resources? Do you want to waste them?
You mean that in the context of preserving sources, energy, time?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's good for everybody. It's good. It needs to be a balance. I mean, what we are doing now is we are carving out a lot of jobs because we're automating a lot of things. But then we need to look after these people whose job we are destroying. This is our responsibility. That's humanity. You can say we have to bring humanity back to the businesses. It's important because people don't realize that companies are not just companies. They are companies, they are consisting of people. And they also need to realize that companies have the only job to feed us. It's the only job they have, to feed us and to make us survive in this planet. And what we are doing now, we are starting destroying the environment, everything else we actually want to preserve. And we do this because we can't get enough money for whatever reason. And the underlying reason is fear. Yeah. If people would believe and would be convinced that there's always enough for everybody at any time, and they don't need to pile up money and to save money to death, yeah, then we would be in a much more relaxed position. But since we all think that money gives you power, gives you respect, makes you look like a successful person, looks like you attractive person, God knows what, then we keep building up this facade and we are neglecting our own personal desire. And the personal desire of every human being is love, to be loved. Everybody wants to be loved. In the one or the other way, they all want to be loved. And all the stuff we are doing is not just to feed ourselves, is also to have the recognition, respect of other people. And I've realized that people, sorry, I just want to finish that. And I've realized that when you are a leader and you show people the way you are, with all your, worries, with all your things you struggle with, yeah, that you're not perfect, that you don't know everything, and that you respect them, and that you appreciate their input, that you also tell them that you want to learn, that you're prepared to learn from them, they love you because you behave like a human and you treat them like humans.
I mean, fact is that there's a lot of fear outside. Would you say that fear is dominating individuals when there's a lack of awareness and consciousness? Is there a correlation between the two? Or what would be the ultimate root for fear? What is it? What is causing fear, and why can't you overcome the fear? I mean, there must be a reason for it. And it's not individual person, it's literally the entire society is based on fear, right? Because we are trained and conditioned to earn money, to make a living, and then you finally end up in being in this trap. You get married, society is expecting you to have kids, and then you have your mortgage, and you stop literally living. You're just in survival mode. Yeah.
Our society is built on performance. So when you are performing, when you're contributing to society, then the society likes you, and the society normally, respects you and acknowledges you. And then there is a fear that one day this could not be the case anymore, that you could not perform or that you could not deliver in the way the society or the environment is expecting from you. This potential threat could be there. And this drives fear. And therefore we start to pile up money for bad days, for the unexpected event that something could happen, that you end up lying under the bridge. And the other fear is lack of love, being isolated, being ignored. The apart from physical violence, but the strongest punishment you can give to a person is ignoring the person. Everybody wants to be seen, wants to be recognized. People say, I see you, I see the way, and I accept you, and I love you the way you are. Yeah? And when you even don't see people you're not seen, nobody recognizes you. You are running in the city, and everybody is passing you and not looking at you, and you are kind of nobody. You feel absolutely lonely, and you lose the lust for life. We need to realize that we need each other. That human needs humans. We are people. We are creatures who are depending on each other. And the sooner we learn this, the better it is. And we have to take care of each other. We have to look after each other, and we have to make sure that what we have got on this planet, that we share this across the world. There are no borders.
That's so powerful, Achim. And I just had this flash. I'm going to share this little memory. Okay. I'm 6 months pregnant with my daughter. I'm working in the corporate world in the middle of Melbourne City. And pregnancy didn't stop me. I was always walking fast and very busy. And this one day I was walking through the middle of the CBD in my lunch break to try and get to a bookshop or something. And I think it was, it's always wet and cold in Melbourne. And I slipped on the ground and I actually fell. And it was at a crossing, sort of, and there's like 100 people around me. Not one person stopped.
Really? Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm shocked, and I'm sitting there on the ground, and I'm like, okay, so I got to get up again. Okay, and I'm on the concrete, and it's wet, and people are walking all past me. No one stopped, and I had to get myself up, and I've got my belly right in front of me, and on I walked. But it was just a real moment of, I am alone, and I'm pregnant in the middle of the city, and nobody reached out. Anyway, that just flashed in front of me when you were talking. And I want to flick over to everything that you've been saying. I'm applying it to business, right? And my mind is going around because we spend most of our time, our waking hours, 5 days. Most people are 5 days a week in a business, and we're working with other people. And you said earlier on, a lot of people go, you give to the company and you expect the company to care about you and give something back. And it's why so many people are hurt and disillusioned. And yet I see now how important it is for business to heal, because it's the place that actually provides the container for us to serve. And through that energy exchange, we give and we get back. And we need to get back more than just money. And I think that's really important. And that's what's missing in a lot of organizations. And I'd love to, get your insight into that.
I think we are making the mistake by dividing work and private matters, or work and private life, that we are dividing this. That we think that it's the business world would be a complete different world. And when you look at this, it's that the business world is just a different room where we do the same things as we do in private environment, like creating connections, building connections to other people, exchanging information, and creating something. In the private world, we are creating something by where we go on holiday, or we are having parties, but we are communicating, we enjoying life. And in the business world, we want to create something, we want to achieve something together, but also by communicating. And I think the business, or the business world, has got one main responsibility, and we all are part of the business world. The business world is not something which is segregated from us. We are the business. I mean, the business consists of human beings, and in this environment, we have the obligation to grow as a civilization, to grow as people, and to develop the way we are living, or to evolve the way we are living, and to provide some kind of services to all of us, which helps us to survive on this planet. Therefore, for me, companies have always the main obligation, the main purpose of providing products and services to make life on this planet livable for everybody. And when, for instance, when a company is coming to a country and entering into a country and just selling their products, let's say they do an online business and they have only minimal stuff, I personally feel they are not entitled to do business in that country, because they also need to enable the market or the country to buy their product. So they need to create some income to that country. Therefore, we need to understand that if you're selling, then you need to provide the purchasing power, and you can't leave it to others. So it must be a good balance. So we need to realize that companies are just a system where we are generating value to the society, and it has to be to society. What I believe is killing is that what we learned in university, and I was always against that, was maximization of profit to the death. You have stakeholders, especially in the corporate world. You have stakeholders who are actually not human beings. I mean, not physical human beings. There are institutional investors like pension funds and so on. And the perverse thing is that you, as an employee, you are paying your money into a pension fund in order to save money for you, and the manager of this pension fund is sitting in the board of the company, is forcing the CEO to get more profit out of the business. Therefore, they force the CEO to save more costs / getting rid of more people, and then they have to dismiss you because they can't afford you anymore, because they want to make more money. Yeah, and then you are financing, or you're paying into something which is the root cause of laying you off. This is a kind of loop which is absolutely, I would say, perverse. And when you realize that this is such a greedy world, there was 4 years or 5 years ago, Apple announced an increase in profit of 40%. And Google happened the same just recently. An increase of profit of 40%, 40% more profit, not 40% more revenue, 40% more profit. Yeah. The result was the share value went down because the investors expected 60%. They were disappointed. This is crazy. This is crazy. Why does it? I mean, why are we doing all this? And when you know that in the corporate world you have stakeholders who are, jumping from one company to the other, in the sense that who's giving me the best return for what? I have a motto in my life. When I said, when you want to sail, on a boat across the world, you only need so much more water underneath your boat, nothing more, and you can sail everywhere. Yeah, you just need to have the confidence that you always have so much water underneath. What we do, we want to have much more just for security reasons. Yeah, we could end up in a situation where we need that money, or we also need money in order to look very powerful and to look very, successful. This has again something to do with love. They want to be loved. They want to be seen. They want to be respected. And this is always, this is something where you can say this is the perception they want to have about themselves. And that's at the end it is, because you make the choice every time about the way you want to be seen, you want to see yourself, consciously or unconsciously. This is what you do.
Is aggregating money, properties, that due to feeling the lack of love then?
No, it's just to put up the facade in order to attract love, to be attractive.
And to overcome the fear that something could happen to you, therefore
Yes,
you protect yourself.
It's always. And I believe that true freedom is coming from the feeling. How can I say that? It's coming from the awareness that, or the capability. True freedom is coming from the capability of not needing much, of being able to cope with less, to bring down everything to bare minimum, so that you still have a satisfied life, so that you're not depending on money, that you're not really depending on all the other things around you, that you can live a very humbled and a very modest life. That's true freedom, the ability to do that. When people think I have money, I have so much money that I'm absolutely independent, then I say, no, you're not independent. You're dependent on the money, because if the money has gone, then you are,
How is that?
XXXX.
How is that going to work in a society which is trimmed on consumption and profit maximization?
Yeah, there's an interesting point you mentioned about consumption. We should be aware in the world that we are not treated like humans. We are treated like consumers. Yeah, we all the way we are adding value to the society is that we're all consumers, and everything is geared around that we consume everything, and this leaves out the human element of it. So the more we consume, the better it is for everybody. And now we are ending up in the situation where we see that the environmental impact can't be neglected anymore, and so we have to bear that in mind, and we have to find other ways, and that consumption is not the right way. We don't need to consume. I mean, we just need to be aware that the only thing what really makes us happy, and lots of researchers have confirmed that, is interactions between humans. This makes us happy. When you buy, I'll give you a simple example. When you buy something which you have really saved money for, and you really was looking forward to buy it, like a new car or whatever, a Porsche car whatsoever, and the most exciting time is before you bought it, because you have got all the pictures, what you're going to do with the car, you were looking forward to, and this was really exciting. Then in the moment when you have the car, then I give you about 6 to 8 weeks, then you get used to it, and then you're looking for something else. Then you have already adjusted your level of just satisfaction to that, and it has become a normal thing. You have got used to it. You are looking for the next, thrilling thing or next exciting thing, and this is what things do with you and your emotions. But humans are fascinating and always rewarding in any aspect.
Arim, I need some clarity around, you said before, companies are there to feed people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And companies actually are operating and doing profit maximization due to the perception that individuals are consumers. At the same time, you're saying actually we need to get away from being consumers. So we
No,
need
I
to
said we
do
need to be aware.
sh-
Sorry, we need
yeah.
to get away of being treated like consumers.
Okay.
Treated like consumers. You know, when you see those,
Okay.
when you hear those researches, when you say, you know, the group of people between 14 and 49, these are the core group, the most important group, because they are the one who have got the money, who are consumed, they are targeted, they are important, and all the others, you know, the older people are not interesting. They actually, it's better they would die, yeah, because they cost us money, and you know, everything is put under the aspect of the economy and stuff like that. This is crazy. That's crazy. And we accept that. We nobody is really saying, what are you doing here? These are, you know, even people at the age of 80, they have to share something a lot, yeah. And you can also bring up things, you know, like, why in the hell do we pay somebody who's driving around in circles? Why do we allow them to earn $20 million or pounds or what knows what? And somebody who's teaching somebody who's looking after old people or doing service to humans, doing really good stuff, which is also, you know, teachers, they are helping a country to be prepared for the future because they're looking after our kids and they're educating them. They're providing knowledge, yeah, lessons. Why don't we pay them more than those who are just kicking against the ball? Yeah. And this is again the kind of drifter thing, yeah, because we like to waste out. I mean, it's quite entertaining and it's thrilling. I'm also a football fan, but I realize, of course, I've watched a football match and dived emotionally into it, and when it's over, then I fall in a big hole and then I think, okay, what's next? Or when the game was crap, then I said, oh, I've kind of wasted time because I got angry and I got disappointed and all these kind of things. Yeah. But it's not taking me one step forward in my development. It's just entertaining. And everything is around, lots of things are around entertaining people. And then I believe, do they do it deliberately in order to keep them numb? That nobody gets the chance to kind of wake up and understands, oh no, we need to start having a self-determined life.
And probably question themselves whether my life is meaningful or not. Right?
Exactly. We try to stuff everything, every minute which is available. We try to stuff it with some things, with some whatever. You know, when they say autonomous driving, then they were already talking about concepts of creating movie or video rooms in those cars where you can watch Netflix. You can spend time watching Netflix. But nobody is saying, nobody bring high up in our priority. Yeah, then you can do something for your personal development. You can, you know, take lessons, or you can study something, whatever. I think personal development should be high up and not consumption.
Achim, you've given so much. My mind is just like going in all different directions, and I'm conscious of the time, and I'm wondering if you could take us into some. If I ask the question, where do we start to solve this broken business paradigm / model? Where do we start?
I think we start with step by step, you know, not trying. I don't like the word trying. By pulling more and more companies, more business owners into the space of making them aware that it's also for their own benefit if they create an environment of inspired and passionate people to do something in their business which is good for many other people, to create that awareness step by step. I don't believe in the corporate world because this is by the way how the corporate world is set up is a lost area because there's no loyalty. The loyalty starts with the stakeholders, and stakeholders come and go. And then you have CEOs, they come and go, and then they need to overcome their ego. You see that the boards are making ridiculous decisions on hiring CEOs who are toxic, who are having high ego, who are only looking after themselves. They are following certain agenda. They don't care really. I mean, not everybody, but the majority. And I've got enough examples where I say, come on, how could you do that? By the way, there was research being done in the United States where they I've read this, where they have analyzed 100 CEOs and analyzed 100 inmates of a prison, and they did analyze their psychology state. You know what they found out? The CEOs are much worse than the inmates of the prison.
In what respect?
In
being hyper-narcissistic, brutal, or
psychological damages. And this is I think that when you are very in a mighty position, then you easily lose the ground, and then you forget where you're coming from, and you tend to forget that everything what makes you be a mighty person is just related to the job. And when you lost the job, when you lost the position, nobody takes care of you anymore. Nobody wants to do anything. Nobody will call you. And people think that it's me, they want me, they like me, but it's just the job. And I'm quite clear about that. And nothing impressed me in this case. And I tell them, we're all humans. We shouldn't forget that. We all go on our feet to the toilet. We all have the same things. We all struggle the same challenges. We all have the same fears and the same worries and God knows what. We're all the same. There's no one different.
And I think we all end up in the same place.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Wow. Achim, yeah. We could keep talking, I think, for another 2 hours, and as much as I'd love to. I was wondering, Kåre, do you have any kind of burning questions or comments for Achim as we kind of come into a close?
No, just the fact that I think that with what happened with COVID to us is functioning as a kind of accelerator to make people more aware and conscious about the fact that there's more than just hunting for money. Yeah. And especially during COVID, everybody witnessed that how important social connections are. Yeah. Giving somebody a hug because we were disconnected by wearing a mask, by being locked down in our own houses, homes. Yeah. And I think there are a lot of movements going on, yeah, which is exactly reflecting what Achim just said, that people start being more and more sick and tired of just being another hamster in the hamster wheel in the rat race, and they want to escape or they want to just break through. They want to do something with more meaning for themselves and others.
I think COVID might help. I fear that we are returning very soon. We are returning to normal life. The whole system and all our values in terms of what is really important, what is really, what do we have to really put high up, yeah, in our society. And I would say that generally what we need to put high up, first of all, are our children, our kids, because they are our future. We have to invest all what we can in their development in order to keep the humanity up. And we have to make a shift in our values from the, thinking that the economy is the most important thing. No, I think human interaction and sharing and considering that the planet is a closed system that we have to take care of, and that we have to live within this closed system, and that there's no infinite growth in this closed system. Hence, we have to share the existing resources across the world. But this is a tough thing, and I don't think that I will make the experience that this is then already implemented. But I'm doing everything in order to be part of this change.
Thank you, Achim. Is there something you'd like to leave our listeners with, like some kind of piece of, I don't know if it's advice or a tidbit or something that you just want to leave them to ponder on and consider as you are so passionate about creating this change, and yeah, what would you say to someone listening as a parting message?
What I would give them is that trust the law of attraction. Trust that you are the creator of your own destiny. Trust that you are never the victim, that you always are the creator of your own destiny. Whatever happens to you has its cause of something you have done, you have thought, or you have said. And take your life in your own hands, and you will see fantastic results. Don't leave your life to somebody else. Don't leave the steering wheel of your car of life to somebody else. Take it in your hand and live a self-determined life. This is what I would tell them. And trust the universe, that it will respond to that accordingly.
Thank you so much. That's really beautiful. I really appreciate everything that you've shared with us today. It's been really heartwarming and thought-provoking and altering, and I'm really, really grateful for everything that you've given. So
you're welcome. I thank you for having me here.
Thanks a lot, Achim. Thank you.